everyone, Steph Beckett here. As you may know, I'm taking some time to interview a lot of our speakers and guests to help promote Launch Week, which is starting Monday, April 27th. By the way, you should know by now, I hope you know by now, but Launch is a platform for AV tweeps to earn CTS credits, see new products, and so much more. It's a chance for them to connect and learn about each other as well, from the comforts of your couches. And it seemed right for us to kick off this new platform by creating a week of events surrounding it. And by the way, it's not just for integrators. We're having a whole day dedicated to end users, and that's where Joe comes in. Joe is the Director of Learning Environments and Information Technology Services at the University of Southern California, where you can see in his background. He's joining me today to talk a little bit about his part of Launch. He's giving the keynote on May 1, which is End User Day. Joe, how are you?
Hey, doing well. Thank you so much for inviting me. This is really exciting to have this opportunity. I'm looking forward to what you all are holding.
Yeah, we're super excited. It's going to be really great. So I'll start by just asking you a little bit about your background and how you came into the AV industry.
Oh boy, I think like everybody else, as a failed musician, right? Well, you know, that's how you're supposed to get it. No, I mean, I actually went to originally University of Southern California, even though I actually oversee the classroom support department, actually is where I also got my degree. Originally went in for recording engineering, but then ended up spending the next 25 years in various business development sides of the entertainment industry, until 4 years ago when I ended up transitioning into higher education. I was at another institution prior to USC, and now I've been here as part of our digital transformation reorganization for, oh my gosh, it's actually going to be a year coming up. I keep saying it's a few months, but it's in a couple months, and it'll actually be a year. So
that's so exciting. Well, you're giving a really, really timely keynote on End User Day, and it is called From Doom to Zoom, How the Last 60 Days Changed End Users' Design and Install Priorities Forever. So tell me a little bit of that. How did you come up with this keynote, and give me a little preview of what you'll be talking about?
yeah, it's so funny because I'm really excited the fact that like Zoom is part of this, because it has been a savior for a lot of higher ed institutions, right? It really, that's why I said the title was really natural, because there was a doom day where all of a sudden we're being told, hey, you know, these 3,000 classes or so that go on, we need to move them up and get them online and do that heavy lifting overnight. And it was Zoom that kind of saved the day for us. And of course, there's tons of great platforms out there, but that was really kind of what had happened. It's where did you go? What are those lessons to be learned? And then in doing that, I think it's really interesting to think, okay, we had a crisis that we faced, and we found a solution in order to solve the crisis. But in the end, that solution actually brought a lot to what we can do in higher education, and you know, as end users, or I'd rather say as in-house integrators, what we can do, you know, moving forward. And that's kind of where I thought, all right, well, when we're doing our spaces and we're planning our classrooms and our conference rooms, what are we going to take out of this? You know, this can't just be a heavy lift that was temporary, because we also know this won't be temporary. The way that we plan our rooms from here on out, we will always be asked, well, what if we get another round of COVID? What if something here in LA? What if an earthquake? The what ifs that we as AV people have been preaching for years. But people are very happy to go, well, we need to save money. We need to value engineer this. So where can we take things off? And you're saying, well, you have to have the projector. You have to have you know, an encode somewhere, you know, and you have to have, you know, get at least switch something. You got to have some speakers. But all the other stuff goes away. The cameras go away. The voice lift goes away. Well, maybe that changes now. Maybe those become priorities in order to have those difficult conversations. So that's kind of how I came up with this. And looking back, it's crazy to think, you know, when I first did the title, I was like, okay, with the last month. Okay, well, no, this is going to be May 1st. Let me count it back and went, dang, 60 days since we moved off campus. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I think that this is touching on a lot of great points, because it will kind of position those end users in our industry to start thinking forward. And if something like this ever happens again, we are going to be prepared.
Absolutely. And also, we're now going to be responsible. right? If you're an end user, if you're a tech manager somewhere, and something like this happens, and we have to do that transition again to an online format or a hybrid format, and you're not prepared, there's no excuse,
Right.
right? We can't go to our bosses and go, well, I don't know think this coming. Really? Everyone now has seen this coming, and we have to now start thinking about how are we going to solve that moving forward, and even make things better. I think there's a lot of great things that have come from the kind of the virtual platforms.
Agreed. What's one thing, though, if you could pick one thing from this keynote, what is one thing that you want those viewers to really take away having learned?
I want everyone to come away just thinking, right? Thinking about the what ifs, thinking about, okay, what are those things that my users, because again, as end users, we still have our own users. What is it they really need? And what do we need to do in order to keep the mission of our institution or our company moving forward, so that when someone is leaving here, they can go, okay, they can reevaluate what their system is, what design they have, and be able to say, how can I transition this in order to make this solve, permanently these issues that might go forward. So it's really the thinking, and to not just for this issue, but all those what ifs that might happen based on wherever you are geographically.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And for all of our viewers who are watching right now, if you're interested in joining us for End User Day of Launch Week, it is on May 1st. I'm including a slide at the end of this video to make it super easy for you to get the link to go register, and definitely register ASAP because space is limited and it is filling up. People are really excited to join us. So thank you so much again, Joe. I will see you next Friday.
Great. Thank you so much.